Hi. Okay, guys, I want to talk about what we've been doing all day because these recordings become kind of like something that tells us what went on. So today we did more desk critiques. We did some on the first day of the week also, right? Yes, some of you already had notations on stuff. So today I spent a lot of time with you guys walking through the sequence of orienting your site plan and the two porches that are drawn on the site plan to your floor plan. And we actually set them next to each other, right, up on the site plan. So I correlated the site plan to what I'm looking at the floor plan. The next thing that I did is I started to have you guys think about where you're putting your doors. So these are all things that you need to update on your plans, even if it's a sketch plan, okay? And that's one of the things that's going to be due for next week is some sort of an update, whether you do it in Rhino or you do it just sketching loosely over top of what I've drawn on your plan. I want you guys to start showing me where's the doors, show your wall thicknesses. Some of you didn't have wall thicknesses, okay? I spent quite a bit of time asking you guys to think about subdividing spaces within your space. So in some cases, I've told you guys to take a distance between the two interior walls and split it in half and align your podium that way. In some cases, one person was doing it at the third point. But we're trying to make it to where the decision on where the podium goes is not arbitrary. Okay? So remember that whole idea of finding out what you're going to perceive as the space and then splitting it in, say, half or thirds and then putting the podium on that line. That works in both directions, from north to south and east to west. So again, I've been asking some of you to kind of think of spaces within your plan as sort of rooms within a room that are articulated by where the walls are. So I need you guys to show those notations on your plans. Your door locations we've talked about. I want you guys to show your doors on your plan. I asked you guys to think about how the cutouts look on the inside. So if you've got benches, you need to kind of show where the benches are on the inside. If you've got counters, you need to show where the counters are. Okay? So I need you guys to kind of clean up that floor plan and get everything to relate. One of the key sort of themes today was to show you guys how everything relates to each other, right? The site plan relates directly to the floor plan. The floor plan is a bigger version of it. Yes? So the doors and the windows relate to what's happening on the outside surfaces of your box. So what I still do not want you guys to cut your boxes, all right? But I do want you to put new paper on the outside of your boxes, saving the old paper. So you can take the old paper and slip it off like a sock, right? So slip it off like a sock, put a new sock on, and update it based on all the conversations that we had today. Okay? So that's the second thing, is to not only update your floor plan in sketch form, but also update the cover of your box. Okay? So those are pretty minor things that I'm asking for, and the reason that I'm doing that is that I've already am starting you guys on the next project. Okay? So the bulk of your homework over this weekend is going to be spent making those other boxes. Okay? So I need you guys, when you guys come back next week, to have all those other boxes made. And do not underestimate how long it takes to do that. Right? I gave you guys that handout that had the list of all the rooms and stuff. This takes a long time. This can take 8, 9, 10 hours to make all of these boxes. You guys have until the next class meeting. When you come to the next class meeting, bring these boxes with you. Natalie will be checking them in. Okay? And then go ahead and bring back your floor plan and your new sleeved box with your new drawings on it. Okay? All right, questions?
Okay. You also need to put their picture on group.
Oh, one last thing. By Monday, I want you all to have taken a nice selfie, and I want you to update your Canvas profile so that it has your picture on it. Just like Paula's French teacher. French? Yep. just like Paula's French teacher. All right, questions? Did you guys understand? Like, I tried to have a dialogue with each of you today. I think there's a couple of you that I still got to get to. But did you kind of see the way that I was thinking about alignments and stuff? It's not arbitrary. We try, within design, we try to use the space and the form of the building to help us decide where to put things. Okay? Yes, ma'am?
For the boxes, do you want us to close it, or?
You're talking about the floor. So the question is, for the boxes, do we want to close the floor? I don't want you to close the floor, but what for next week you should have is a floor that slips inside of there. Okay? So it's going to be the size of the outside of this minus the thickness of the foam core all the way around. If you hand me that one, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you look at this one, right, this floor fits inside of there. So you should have that already. Yes, sir?
How do you want the floors for the smaller boxes? Did you want them as how we did it on our first box where it was
Okay, so the question now is, how do I want the floor for all of the subtractions? So I want you guys to think about that a little bit more carefully. When we did this one, I was trying to teach you about spatial subtraction. What I want you guys to do now is I want you to build the walls of the spatial subtraction and maybe the roof, right? But leave the floor off so that you can have just one floor that slips up in there. Okay? That make sense? Oh no, those are full boxes. Just glue them all the way up. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. So the question was, for all these boxes that we're making for project 2, do we put the floor on? And the answer is yes. Yeah. Okay. Other questions?
7 minutes.
All right. So I'm gonna, if there's no more questions, I'm gonna stop the video. Go ahead.